everyone. Welcome back again to the BioClean Unfiltered podcast. I'm Rhea Toles. This episode is a little bit more personal, I think. I had a guest that was supposed to come on, but unfortunately she had to cancel last minute. Totally okay. It was a family emergency situation. I was going to cancel this recording and I thought, no, you're not going to cancel it. You're going to do it. And you're going to talk about something that you want to talk about. And I wrote a script really quick last night and this morning. And I wanted to talk about something that I feel like I'm not really a huge expert on, but I wanted to talk about leadership on this podcast, and just kind of taking leadership and ownership of your own life and the things that you want to do. And I feel like I learned so much from this topic that I wanted to share my thoughts and my feelings on that. But I'm really glad I didn't cancel this recording because I'm really excited about it. If you know me, I like to plan my episodes and I was not a planner this time. And so I am out of my comfort zone, but that's okay. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk about is doing those things that you're not comfortable in doing and just moving. And so it was just it's really inspiring for me about myself that I'm actually here talking about this topic and really trying to resonate with people that are in the same boat that may feel stuck and not sure that they want to do the things they want to do, or there's something that's holding them back from doing that. When we think about leadership, we think about leadership in business, all the people underneath you, right? All the people that you're leading, you're mentoring. And I feel like leadership is more than just business. It's actually leadership in your own life, your own personal life as well. And because this is a topic that I feel like has come along so much, especially when I talk with my friends, with family about this, is that somewhere along the way, too many people stop living for themselves and start living for approval. And I hear this so much, and I am a true testament to this as well, because we're always trying to start living for approval by somebody else, by approval from family, approval from friends, approval from coworkers, from social media, approval from people who honestly don't live the life that you want. People that are strangers we're looking for approval from. And I think one of the most powerful things you can do as a human being is really decide, I'm going to own my own destiny. And I think that's huge to say that and to think that. And it's really hard for people to think that and to actually say it and do it, is I'm going to own my own destiny. And what is that? And it's not going to be society's version. It's not someone else's expectations. It's not someone else's approvals. It's just yours, your own destiny. And when we think about that, that's like so hard sometimes for us to like listen to or to think about. Like, what is our destiny? What are we meant to be here on this earth for? And I know I've had a hard time for myself, even in my younger years, thinking about what am I here for? You know, what's God's plan for me? What are all these things for myself? And really, truly owning your own destiny, doing the things that you're supposed to do in a purpose-driven life is really super important. And that's one of the things I want to talk about on this episode today, on this podcast. I want to talk about confidence. People always talk about confidence, like, I'm going to be confident today, but truly, what does that mean? What does confidence mean? I want to talk about leadership, about fear. Fear is a big one too. And then also criticism, growth, and why the moment you stop caring about what everybody thinks, your life starts changing, literally. And I can truly say this too, is the moment that when I stopped caring about what other people thought about me, my life got better. It literally got better. It got better for me, for my family. And it just, all of the things just started moving away from me that were so negative in my life. And I know that my husband and I can also talk about this too, is that moment when we were like, F it, let's just do it. We're going to do this. We're going to start our own business. We're going to, even from way before, we're going to start our own family, you know, and people are like, you're too young to do that. You're too young to do this. You're too young to do that. Things just started getting better for us. I really, truly believe that. So the one thing I want to talk about is leadership starts with you. So, you know what's interesting about leadership? Most people think leadership starts with the title, right? Like, oh, I'm the CEO, I'm the president, I'm the vice president, I'm a business owner. That means I'm a leader. I'm on this pedestal. And it's like, leadership actually starts way before you get the title. Way before you get the title. It starts with you first, right? Way before you got that CEO title. I remember when I became an LPO, which is a big deal in the escrow world. And I got my license 20 years ago. And I thought I was like a big deal. I was like, now I have my LPO license. Now I need to have this big team under me and I need to do all these things. And I deserve my own office with a window, all the things. That was 20 years ago. And that definitely was not the case. I was very humbled by that. And I remember being like, well, what do you mean I'm not going to have like 4 assistants in this view of an office? It's like, no, you're going to stay in your cubicle and you're going to learn. I had no experience whatsoever. Just because I took the board exam and I got that license didn't mean I was ready to have a team. I was ready to lead people. And so with that, I had to learn the hard way. I had to learn, I had to build, I had to do all the things I was supposed to do to earn that. And I think people that are put in positions of these big titles sometimes think, okay, well, I can do this. I can mentor, I can lead. And that's always not the case at all. Because leadership starts when you begin taking responsibility for your own life. When you start taking accountability of your own life. When you stop blaming people, stop waiting for permission, and stop waiting for somebody to save you. That's true leadership to me. I really believe that. And I wrote this down. I've written this down so many times in my notebook about this, because once you start taking accountability and you start learning from the things, the decisions and the choices that you make in your own life, and those bad decisions are also a big part of that, and you're not waiting for someone to save you and do all the things for you, that's what I feel like true leadership means. Real leadership is waking up every day and saying, no matter what happened yesterday, I still have a choice today. Like I still have a choice today. No matter what happened to us years ago, what happened to us yesterday, we still have a choice. The choice is always going to be there all the time. And let me tell you something, life is hard. Like life is so hard. We hear that all the time. Life is hard. We know it. Life is very hard. But business is hard as well. Relationships are hard and growth is hard. It is, all of that is so hard, but we still have a choice every day to make to get through those hard times, to get through the things that are holding us back, all those things. But you know what's also hard is staying stuck is also hard. Staying stuck, staying at the same place, staying at the same job, the same position, that's hard too. I mean, most people, they watch other people doing these great things because they feel like they aren't capable of doing it, that they are better than me at doing that. They're already doing that. They're already opening that business. They're already selling health and wellness products. They're already doing all the things. And so that staying stuck is hard. And eventually you're going to have to decide which heart are you willing to choose. And that's a choice. That's the choice I'm talking about. Which heart are you willing to choose on that? And I think one of the biggest lies people believe, truly, is one of the biggest lies is someone else is more capable than me. We tell that to ourselves all the time. Like I said, someone else is already selling that. Someone else has that photography business, has that video business, has that biohazard business. Somebody, we're telling ourselves these things and we're just going to stay there on the couch and watch all those other people who may be less talented than you, who aren't probably as intelligent as you may be, but they're scrappy and they're willing to be out there and do those things. And that's why they're going to be successful, because they're doing it. And one of the biggest lies, like I said, is someone else is more capable than me, but guess what? They're not. They just aren't. And most successful people are just willing to move when they feel ready. That's the difference. Like I said, it can be less intelligent than you. They can be less, have less skills than you, but they're just moving, and they're moving because they're doing it before they're even ready. And that's what successful people do. And that's just it. Confidence is not the absence of fear. Confidence is moving anyway. Despite anything that you're going through, confidence is just moving anyway. And I love that. When I heard that quote, I wrote that down in one of my notes, is because you always think, I'm confident, I'm fearful, all the things. No, confidence is not about fear. It's not about the absence of fear. It's just doing the things that you want to do anyway, despite what anybody else thinks and despite all the hardships that you're going through, you're just doing it anyway. So one of the things, I'm going to talk about something honestly, and maybe, I don't know if anyone knew this, but people will judge you no matter what you do. I mean, that's the big thing I want to talk about here. I don't know if anyone needed to hear this, but people will judge you no matter what you do. If you stay small, they're going to judge you. If you grow, they judge you. If you speak up, they judge you. If you stay quiet, they're going to judge you. No matter what you do, people are always going to judge you. They're always going to have something to say. Someone out there is always going to have to say something about it. So eventually in your life, and I'm going to attest to this too, you're going to realize you might as well live your life. You just might as well. Because no matter what you do, people are going to judge you, especially with social media right now, all the platforms we have to go out there and market ourselves. There's going to be one person or more that's going to say, oh, you're not really good at that. Oh, you're not pretty enough. Or they're just going to judge you. And that's just the fact of that. I wasted years worrying about what people thought. And I'm really honest about that. I wasted, am I too loud? Am I too ambitious? Am I not doing enough? Am I too emotional? Am I too driven? Am I too much for people? I always used to say this all the time and think like, maybe I should just tone it down a little bit. And I think especially as women, we're taught to shrink ourselves to make other people comfortable. And that's, in my generation, the truth, how I grew up. We were taught as women to nurture the people around us, to care about the people around us, to make people feel okay and comfortable, because that's just who we naturally are, right? We're mothering. We want to nurture. And it's hard for us to really step forward right now and be confident and not shrink ourselves like that. And I am a common product of that. I'll be really honest with you on that. And it's just something that is really inside me naturally, I feel like. But here's what I've learned. I'm going to say something that I've learned. The people who are uncomfortable with your growth usually benefited from your insecurity. And I'm going to say that again. The people who are uncomfortable with your growth usually benefited from your insecurity. Do you know, when I was not doing well, I have the most friends. When I was poor, when I was mentally unstable, when I was not doing well, I had the most friends. All my friends would come to me and be like, how can I help you? What do you need? They loved to hear me struggle. It was a common fact. I mean, Josh and I have lost so many friends when we started our business, when we started earning, when we started doing well in our marriage. We honestly did lose friends. And that's hard to hear and that's hard to acknowledge, but a lot of people thrived on our insecurities. They thrived on that and they loved to hear it because it made them feel better about themselves. And that's just what it was. Not a lot of people wanted to hear, oh, we're doing great. Oh, we're doing well. We are thriving in our business. Nobody would call and ask, hey, are you thriving in your business today? Like, nobody did that, you know? And I want to read that again in your mind. The people who are uncomfortable with your growth usually benefited from your insecurity, and that's okay. That really is okay. Some people only like you when you're doubting yourself. Totally true. Some people only like you if you're doubting yourself, because confident people force others to look at their own limitations. And that's also very true. If you're confident in yourself and somebody just doesn't like that you're confident in yourself, it's because you're making them look at their own limitations, at their own insecurities. Especially people that are on the couch watching someone work out and they're like, oh God, here she goes again. It's because they're sitting on the couch and you're making them look at their own insecurity and limitations because they're not doing what you're doing. And so once I stopped needing everybody's approval, I became free. And Josh and I, my family, we became free. And that is a really great feeling. We really did. And not to say I don't have that still where, oh gosh, why did I do that? I shouldn't have done that. They're probably looking at me like I'm stupid. I still have those feelings, but most of the time I have that free feeling of, I don't care what people think of me. It's not arrogant. I don't think it's rude. It's just free. It really is. It's just free. And people sometimes think, oh gosh, she's so arrogant. She doesn't care what people think of herself. It's not. It's just a free feeling that I have. And I'm just wanting to share that with you. There's a difference in that. You don't need everyone to understand your vision because they weren't given your vision. That's your vision. Nobody needs to understand your vision of your life because that's your own vision. And so stop caring if people need to understand that. They don't need to understand that. The only person that needs to understand that is you. So one thing I want people listening today to understand is this. You are not stuck. When we talk about, being stuck, you are not stuck. You may feel stuck, but you're really not stuck. There's a difference between being trapped and being afraid to move, right? There's a difference between that. Because I believe fear really disguises itself really well behind so many things. But there's a difference between feeling trapped and actually being afraid to move. Fear can sound like so many different things. It can sound like maybe next year, or I need more time. I'm not ready. What if I fail? So many things fear can hide behind. But one thing that I want to ask though is also, but what if you do succeed? What if the thing you keep talking yourself out of, that one thing, like, I can't do that. What if that one thing you're talking yourself out of is the thing that changes your entire life? Like that one thing. And I truly believe for me is that moment when Josh and I decided, okay, we're going to buy this business. I mean, literally putting all our savings, our life on the line, I felt like, and we were like, we're going to just do it. And look what happened, And I think about this all the time. I think about how many people die with potential still inside them because they spent their whole lives worrying about judgment. I know so many people that have been in my life and out of my life that literally had so much potential in them, but they were so scared about letting people down and worrying about what other people thought of them that I would literally be like, you would be so great at this. You would be so amazing at doing this. And they would be like, no, I don't know. And it's just like, I'm not disappointed in that. It's just like, but if you think about it, how many people die with potential still inside them? Really, truly. And so listen, people who are building meaningful lives don't have time to sit around tearing others down. Again, people who are building meaningful lives don't have time to sit around tearing others down. We don't have time to sit on the couch and just scroll and doom scroll and say, oh my God, look at that person. No, you know what we're doing out there? We're out there creating our dreams. We're out there doing the things that we want to do. We're out there doing the things we said we're going to do. And we don't have time to be tearing other people down. We want people to come up with us. We want people to be around us that can be capable as well. People that are successful don't have time for that. The loudest critics are usually the people taking fewer risks. And I'm being honest about that. The loudest critics are always the one that's just sitting, like I said, on the couch and criticizing that health and wellness gal that's showing her workout videos, or the person that is cooking in front of the camera. They're the ones sitting on the couch, not taking those risks. And I'm not trying to say this to be mean by all means. It's just the honest truth. They're not out there just moving and doing the things that they want to do. And instead, it's comfortable for them to sit there and criticize. And those are the loudest critics. I want people listening to know you can reinvent yourself. You can always reinvent yourself. I remember just this past March, I went to an Arbonne convention. I love Arbonne products. I'm a health and wellness person. And I remember being like, oh my gosh, all the women here are so beautiful and fit, and they're younger than me, or the women that were my age or older have been doing this for like 20 years. And I thought to myself, literally, I was like doubting myself. And I said, am I ever going to get to that national vice president title being almost 50? Like, can I do that? And I just remember being like, oh, doubting myself. And then after a while, I was like, okay, I almost stopped myself. I was like, get out of it, Rhea. You're insane. Yes, you can. You can do it. You can do it. Like, maybe it took some women 20 years. It took some women to 5 years, whatever. And so that was a moment where I did also realize I can reinvent myself anytime I want. I could be this health and wellness person because that's my passion. Listen, my businesses are not my passion. My passion is me. My passion is what I love to do, which is exercise, workout, my family, my husband, doing other things. And so, yes, I can reinvent myself and do those things. It doesn't matter at any age. It doesn't matter at any stage. After failure, After heartbreak, after loss, after addiction, after divorce, after financial struggle, you can always reinvent yourself. The best stories out there are those people that reinvent themselves after these hard times. I love hearing stories about people who got through a heartbreak and they thought they were losing themselves and they were going to die and all these things. And then now they're thriving as a single man or woman out there doing all the things that they want to do. Those are the best stories. You're allowed to become someone new at any time. Again, that's the choice that you have every day to make, every single day. So the one thing I've learned through business and life, another thing is this: leadership is easy when everything is going well. It is. It's so easy. Of course it's easy. Of course, like you're thriving, nothing's going wrong. You're fine. And it's so fun to be a leader. Actually, the real test happens is when you're in those hard seasons. I'm telling you, that's the real test. And here's some questions. And I wrote these questions down because I wanted to really resonate with people on this one is, can you stay grounded when things get chaotic? Like, can you truly stay grounded when things get chaotic? Like when people are coming at you from all different directions, when employees are coming at you like, I hate my job, this job sucks. When a manager is coming to you and the sales aren't there, when the money isn't there, can you stay grounded when things are chaotic? When those things are, because that's a question I ask myself, okay, what are you going to do, right? This is not working out and things are around me are just not good. Also, can you keep showing up when you're tired? Listen, we are tired. I'm tired. I'm tired all the time. But especially when you are leading people, when you're leading yourself, when you're leading employees, you're tired. You know, so many people think, oh, this CEO, this business owner, they can go into work whenever they want. They have all the money. They can do whatever. No, we're working 24/7. We are tired. But one thing you're going to have to ask yourself, can you keep showing up? Not be like, I don't feel like it today and laying in bed. I don't feel good today. I'm tired. That's not what true leaders do and strong leaders do. They have to get up and show up every single day. Another question is, can you stay kind when life is testing you? Like, I have to remind myself that because life tests me every single day. I get the worst comments from people on social media. I get people just coming at me sometimes that are not nice. Can I still stay kind? And that's something I have to dig deep with a lot because I can sit there with my girlfriends and talk about, oh my gosh, I can't believe this person, blah, 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 said this to me. And that person's like this. And you start digging that hole, right? And you start becoming that person you're trying not to become. And so that's the question you have to ask yourself. Can you stay kind when life is testing you? Because that's leadership. Asking yourselves those questions and you coming through, that's leadership. People think because leaders just never struggle at all. Like I said, oh, that person that owns a business can come in anytime they want. They own a business. They have all the money in the world. No, they think, oh, you just don't have any struggles. That is the last thing ever to think because we have struggles. Absolutely. Because strong leaders, they feel fear. When you're a strong leader in your own life, in your own business, in your own company, you feel fear. You feel fear everywhere from your employees, from your family, from your spouse, from your significant other. You feel fear. Strong leaders also get overwhelmed. We get overwhelmed. I mean, it's just a fact. We are always overwhelmed with so many things that's happening. And also strong leaders doubt themselves sometimes, all the time. It's just true. Not every leader out there is just so confident, like I have nothing going on. All these things are constantly being felt. Fear, being overwhelmed, and doubt. But the one thing that is a difference between leaders and other people is they just keep moving though. You have to keep moving and keep going. I think resilience is one of the most underrated qualities in this world. I really do. I think that word is not thrown out enough. I think resilience is such a great quality that people should have and should learn to have because what is resilience? The ability to keep getting back up, right? That's resilience. It's not perfection. It's not talent. It's resilience. And I think that's very underrated. And honestly, some of the strongest people that I know are people who went through hell and still chose softness. still chose kindness, still chose to get back up, still chose to do the things that they're supposed to do. Those are the strongest people that I know. And they still chose compassion, and they still chose growth, choosing growth, always growing. Just because you're in a position of, this excellence you think you have, you still have to grow every single day. You have to grow. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be the littlest things. That's when you feel stuck, right? Is you're right there, but you always have to grow so you can start feeling unstuck. And that's strength too. So I want this part of the episode, I feel like this part of it to really sink into is one thing. And a lot of people have a hard time hearing this one is your life belongs to you. Your life, it belongs to you. It doesn't belong to social media, not to strangers, not to opinions, not to expectations, not to those rules you have set for yourself. Your life belongs to you because you know what? You only get one life. You only get one. And I think too many people spend their lives performing instead of living. I do that. Sometimes I feel like, am I performing? What am I doing here? Social media, that brings that out of us. We feel like we're performing all the time in front of people and you're not actually living. And that's one thing that I strive, and I know my family and we strive to be, is we have to live our life and not perform for other people in that. Because trying to look successful instead of feeling fulfilled, that's common. You want to look successful, but are you fulfilled? Trying to impress people they don't even like. You're trying to impress people you don't even like, or even know. You're trying to impress strangers on social media and performing for them and making them think or feel that you're just this great, successful person. You don't even know them. You don't even like half those people. Meanwhile, while you're doing this, right, the years are going by. Literally, the years are going by. You're too worried about what other people are thinking that life just flashes right before your eyes. I've learned myself that peace comes when your life starts aligning with who you truly are. I really do believe that's when peace comes. I'm the dirtiest person probably. I'm not the cleanse. I throw my stuff all over the floor. I have a bunch of cups on my side table, and my husband, bless him, has I now believe that's who you truly are. I'm okay with this. And, and that's peace to us because I'm fine. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. And when I'm truly who I am around the people that I love and the people that accept me, I am the best person that I ever been. And when I started feeling myself like I'm aligning with who I truly am, and it took me years to get to this spot, I have so much peace. And it's so funny because I did a color code class recently, and I used to be a red, this leader, this strong red, and I'm a Leo, red. I came out now as a white, peace. And I found that so funny because I've never been that person. I always have to be doing something. I'm neurotic. I have to have everything planned. But I came out, my color is white, and I loved it. I love it because that means all I want is peace in my life, because I truly know now that everything that I am and everything I believe in who I am is really who I align with. And that's peaceful to me. So it's not who you pretend to be. I promise you. And I'll tell you this, the one thing that I love, and I love this word that is being thrown out a lot, is authenticity. Authenticity is powerful. It is so powerful. And I love that people are saying, I want to be my authentic self. Yeah, go for it. Go do that. Because authenticity is so powerful. People can feel when someone is real. They can feel it. People really feel that. If you're out there trying to pretend you're this person, people know you're fake. They're going to know it. They're going to know you're pretending. People get that, the best stories I see on social media are the people that are really being truly themselves. They're telling people their feelings. They're being their true selves, that are showing up without makeup on and, none of that filter stuff. The people that are really truly who they are. And I resonate with that because people can feel honesty. They can feel confidence, and they can feel purpose. A purpose-driven life is so important, and that's who I resonate with. One of the mission statements that we have at BioClean is move with purpose. And I believe the reason why BioClean is successful is because of that. I think because people see we do these awful, awful jobs, and that we're literally seeing scenes that are very traumatic. But one of the things, and I preach this to my employees, I preach this to everybody, is you have to move with purpose, especially when you're doing something like that. Why are you doing what you're doing? Who are you doing it for? All the things that you want to do to move with purpose. And I know for me and for the company, we're helping people in trauma situations, and we want to help people. We want to help people. That's our purpose, is to help those people that are struggling. And so that's why I feel like people resonate with BioClean and what I say, with the things that I say, is because they can feel that people have been through that. And so the most magnetic people in the world are not perfect people. They just aren't. Those are the most magnetic people to me. And those people who fully own who they are and their experiences and what they're going through are truly the ones that people resonate with and who are magnetic. So if you take anything from today's episode, I want it, please let it be this. Stop waiting for permission to become who you already know you're meant to be. Like, stop waiting for permission. Who are you waiting permission from? Like your spouse, your friends, why are you waiting for permission? Take that trip, start the business, speak up, change your life, set your boundaries, protect your peace is so important, and dream bigger. Do those things. Who are you waiting for permission from? Stop apologizing for wanting more out of your life. And I still apologize for so many things, but stop apologizing for the things that you want out of your own life. Start doing those things. I mean, the people you're waiting for permission for don't care about what you're doing with your life, to be honest. So why are you waiting for permission from them? You don't need everybody to believe in you before you believe in yourself. I mean, come on. You don't need everybody to believe in you. You just have to believe in yourself. Once you believe in yourself, who cares about all those other people? And it's so hard to get to that point. But once you start thinking this way, you don't need those other people to believe in you. You'll start getting it. Leadership starts the moment you decide to take ownership of your own future, of your own destiny. I'm talking about this whole time. It's not decided by fear. Leadership in your own destiny is never decided by fear. It's decided by the choices you make every single day. That's what leadership is. The choices, again, that you make every single day, not by fear. Just because, I'm fearful, that's not leadership. That's not leadership. We're always going to have fear. It's those choices that you make every single day. So I hope this episode for me is so passionate. I feel like maybe you can call it aggressive. I don't know, whatever. I don't care what you think. No, I'm just kidding. I find this very passionate for me because I think this is a struggle for a lot of people, especially women that are feeling stuck and are they're stuck in a relationship, stuck in a business, stuck in a company, stuck in, a career that they don't want. And they're just looking for more. And I feel that. And I can feel that from people. And so I hope this really helps somebody out there that's trying to make that decision, because you have that decision in front of you. You have that choice, and it's your choice now to make, and you should be making it. So anyway, if this spoke to you, please share this with someone who needs a reminder that their life is still theirs to build. Thank you guys for listening to this. And remember, you're capable of far more than you think. So I will see you the next episode.